I want to talk about trust. I want to start with some definitions and then give you 5 C's to help us better understand how to think about trust and how to be people of trust as we lead and guide and live in our families and with those we care about and interact with. Let's start with some definitions, and I have a couple of sources that I've pulled some of this information from. TrustEdge.com, as well as Henry Cloud's book, Trust, which I'm reading currently. One definition of trust says that it's a confident belief in a person, product, or organization. A confident belief in a person, an organization, whether that be a church or a business, or something that you buy or purchase. There's this confident belief in it is how trust can be defined. Henry Cloud defines trust as the fuel for all of life, as a motto that he uses to describe that. The Cambridge Dictionary calls trust a verb, and they say that trust is to believe that someone is good and honest and will not harm you, or that something is safe and reliable. There's a lot of truth in that. This whole element of we trust the people who will not harm us, who have our best interest in mind. These 5 C's come from the work that's associated with TrustEdge.com. There's actually 8 of them, but I chose 5 of them, and I want to just touch on them as they relate to the ministry, the work that we're involved in as we work with congregations in transition. The first C is clarity. This shows up as clarity. People trust what's clear, and they mistrust or distrust the ambiguous. That makes me think about when we step into a congregation as a transitional leader, we need to make sure that we help that congregation become clear as to where are we going during the transition. If it's ambiguous, if you don't know where you're going or what you're doing, then trust does not get established quickly in that environment. We also mistrust people who make things too complex. So part of the job of leadership to build trust is to make things that are complex understandable, making things clear, direction, and the way things are going to work around here. The second C is compassion. The word compassion, to suffer with. Here's how it shows up as it relates to trust. People trust those who care beyond themselves. So the leader that is willing to suffer with those that they lead and care about their interests will be able to build trust. Who is the most trusted person in the world? The role, it's mom. And mom, it represents the person that sets aside their own interests for the benefit and the good of their children. One of the ways that we show compassion, I think, in a leadership role, in congregations, is to show appreciation. Showing appreciation is a very tangible way to build trust because it shows that you're noticing. It shows that you're listening, that you're seeing people. The third C is trust has to do with character. Character is where you and I do what is right, not what is easy. And I think that's one of the challenges of leadership today is that there's a lot of pressure, especially when a church is in transition. They want to find the easiest route to get to the search and find that new pastor. But you have to be able to help that congregation realize that sometimes the best way to go is to go through the tough stuff, to go through the valley of uncertainty and the grief process that the church needs to go through. The fourth C is competency. We trust people who stay fresh and capable and relevant in the situation. And I think this speaks to this whole idea that we as leaders need to continue to keep growing and learning and not just resting on our past laurels. There's things we need to learn, things we need to be refreshed by, and that's one of the real goals of the Transitional Leadership Network is to help provide fresh training, fresh ideas, webinars, coaching circles, so that you do stay relevant and fresh and always growing, always learning. Competency in the specific arena that you're working and serving is critical if you want to be trusted to be able to give leadership. The fifth C is connection. And we trust the people who connect with us. And I think the other thing that really goes with this is connection happens when we are able to collaborate with other people. If we come in as an autocratic leader, that doesn't build trust. We need to be able to open ourselves up to connection and learning from each other and leaning on each other and building a team so that together we can get to the destination. So I'd love to hear from you how you are finding ways to build trust, because one of the realities when you are involved in churches that are in transition, you have to build trust fast. So I think coming in with a good, clear understanding of what it is and how to build it will help set you up for success. And even if you're in situations that you're leading a team or you're a pastor or you're a leader, all of these 5 C's are relevant. If you're leading a family and you have children, you have grandchildren, you're in a community, you're in the marketplace, all of these qualities will help us to build the trust that we need to be the people we need to be and to be able to accomplish the things that God has really called us to do. I hope that has found some place to land in your mind and in your heart, and that you'll be able to continue building trust in the places and spaces and with the people that God has called you to. Thanks for watching and have a great day.